carried out by the FCCPC. Well, my name is Ifiemi, and those who do not know, the regulations initiative by the FCCPC. What is the regulation? But just to give an idea, the FCCPC has set April 2026 as the final deadline for digital money lenders to utilize operations under this particular regulation. Now, there are many of you who borrow money from these guys online and then you get harassed at the end of the day. They bill you, all of them together. Some of these, or most of them, don't even have any office. There's no place you can go see them, meet them. They're just basically online, and that's how they function. And for the longest time running, people have been saying somebody needs to hold these guys accountable. Well, we'll find out from the FCCPC today how they intend to do that and ensure that unsuspecting Nigerians don't fall victim to some of these shady activities that these online lending companies are involved in. My guest this morning is the Zonal Coordinator, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission South Zone. It is Uchegbu Chukwuma. Sir, thank you for joining us. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Andrew, and good morning, listeners.
All right, I would like to say Happy New Year as well. This is the first time having you on the show this year.
That's actually what I was saying. I say, it's good to be here once again. This is a new year, so I say Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning. So we see the FCCPC is starting 2026 strong. Before we get into the details, I'd like you to first educate everyone who's listening what this Dion regulation is about and what it stands for.
Okay. Before now, the digital lending space was not regulated by anybody, and FCCPC stepped in because it has a lot to do with the consumers of Nigeria. So in 2025, even though yes, we've been working with them before 2025, that in 2025 a law came into effect. In fact, it was gazetted, and it came into effect by 21st July 2025. And that law provides for a 90-day window for registration. Now, the directive is contained in our newly gazetted, and the name of that law is Digital Electronic Online or Non-Traditional Consumer Lending Regulation, Beyond Consumer Lending Regulation 2025.
Okay.
Was issued by our agency, FCCPC. Yes.
So it covers every form of lending company online.
Yes. Now it covers every form of lending, either as far as it is online or even data buying of airtime and all those kind of things.
So
now, what it seeks to actually do is to end exploitative practices, data privacy violations, and the harassment of consumers by unregulated digital lending operators. Because we saw that for too long, Nigerians have endured harassment, data breaches, and unethical practices by unregulated digital lenders. So these regulations drew a clear line that innovation is welcome, because many of them were saying that, yes, it was innovation that was coming up because of how the world is going. But what we are saying is that such innovation should not be at the expense of the rights and dignity of consumers or the rule of law. So this law has to come in effect so that there will be a clear regulation to protect our consumers.
Well said. So it means that is there a place, is punishment stipulated in this law where the regular situation we have, people get defamed because they borrowed money from a company, and you begin to see them call their family members and say all sorts of things to them, or post messages and say this person is owing us if we don't, and if you see them, whatever, those kind of messages. How does it seek to regulate or handle those kinds of situations?
Okay, the new law provides a legal framework that requires digital lenders to operate transparently, disclose loan terms clearly, and adopt ethical recovery methods and respect consumer privacy. So that's the area that you are talking about, especially to adopt ethical recovery methods and respect the consumer privacy. So this new law also prohibits pre-authorized or automatic lending, because many times people say that they didn't even ask. So unethical marketing and anti-competitive agreement, while mandating at least one locally owned service provider for airtime and data lending service. You see, what we had before was that most of them, their directors were not Nigerian. They didn't have any Nigerian partner. So they could operate from outside and treat it anyhow. But this new law will ensure that for you to register, you must have at least a Nigerian director in your board, one, before you are registered, and two, that those that will be providing the services for you must be one of the Nigerian companies. So the framework mandates...
So that means they must have a physical office now.
Yes, yes. So if you have a Nigerian director, it means that there must be physical presence in Nigeria. So the framework mandates transparency, fairness, responsible conduct, data privacy, and accessible redress mechanism. Because that's also where they had a problem. Many of them didn't have any form of redress mechanism. If they offend anybody, how do you report or who do you report to? So and all these things are under the oversight of FCCPC. So it's a crucial step towards regulating Nigeria's rapidly expanding digital lending platform. So all digital lenders, including mobile money operators, the people we call the MMOs, digital money lenders, DMLS, and their service partners, because they don't operate alone. They use platforms to operate. So they are required to jointly register with FCCPC and obtain approval before operating. So non-compliant operators risk severe punishment. That was what you were asking, including monetary fines. We can also deregulate them, or we can ban their directors from operating such services in Nigeria. Now, the fines we may say it could get to 500,000, 500 million for an erring director, or up to 100 million for the company. It can also lead to deregistration, like I said. It can also
by deregistration, does that mean that the app would be taking off all of the online stores, so nobody downloads or will be able to use them?
Yes. As soon as you are registered, you are pulled out of App Store, so that you cannot operate in Nigeria.
Is there a provision for how customers can report some of these companies when they violate the law to the FCCPC? And also, how do you also seek to address those ones that use deceitful ads to get customers? I know you mentioned one thing where somebody only borrowed once, but then the company or the app, unknown to the person, does this automatic renewal thing for you that you're not aware of. So automatically they are giving you money you didn't ask for, and you don't know. You see the money in your account, you're spending, and then tomorrow they tell you this is how it goes. Some don't even give you details of how the interest rate works and all of those things in their ad. They make it look like it's so sweet. You just and then people who do not understand these things go there. How do you manage those?
Okay, part of the registration is that there is a form which you must fill, and that form would clearly state that you must be transparent in your digital lending space activities. So it is that transparency that you now have to disclose your interest rate and the method of which you are going to employ to recover your loans, which we say ethical lending practices. Now, some of these, like I said, this law came into effect in July. Then we gave them a 90-day window, which ended in around October. That is why we said, because we realized that many of them could not comply. So that's why we now moved it on that November 13th. We now moved it to 5th of January as the deadline for compliance.
So is it not April? Because what we saw was April of this year for final deadline.
No, for now, by that November 13, 2025, we extended it to 5th January. However, there has been a lot of protest from them that it will be difficult for many of them to comply because of the requirement. Because part of what we want you to do is to let us know how you will recover your loan, because that's where we have a lot of problems with them. So that was why it was just by this January, it was now moved a little bit to April, so that they can all comply. Now, by that April, it will be a total shutdown if any person does not comply. However, even as it is today, as far as you have borrowed money or you want to borrow money, please be sure that you go to a company that is registered. And you just go to our website, if you may ask me. Go to FCCPC, approved loan or MMO, that is, or digital money lender, DML, digital money lender. So if you go there, the approved list will come out. Now, if by peradventure you take a loan and you see that there's a sharp practice or there's something that is done against you or there's a data breach, you are free to report. It is a free service and it's automatic. All you need to do is to go to Lenders Task Force at fccpc.gov.ng. So immediately you drop your complaint, in less than 24 hours, somebody will reach you, and in a very short while it will be addressed. So these things are efforts that FCCPC is putting in place to ensure that our Nigerian consumers are protected. However, I also want to say this because there's a caveat. Now, if you are coming to equity, you must come with a clean hand. I have seen somebody who said that is it not free money? So I have seen somebody who borrowed from up to or more than 10 different money lenders, digital money lender companies.
Okay, let me interrupt you here, sir, because we have a commercial coming. This was going to be my next question immediately after we come back from the break. You're already touching on it. So let's just hold on. We'll go on the quick commercial. When we come back, we'll conclude on this part before we open the phone lines. Still the morning crossfire, and we are discussing moves by the FCCPC to regularize activities of digital money lenders. And my guest is the Zonal Coordinator, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission South South Zone, Mr. Uchegbu Chukwuma. Sir, thank you for staying on the line for us.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
All right. Quickly, before we go on with the question, let me just remind the listener, know that you can join the conversation. We are live on Facebook or streaming online, so you can join the conversation on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. You can also listen to us online on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH, or you download the Nigeria Info app from your Google Play Store or your iOS store, and that's it. You have access to all of the content, or visit our website as well. So any of these methods would help you get across to us. Importantly, to reach us here in the studio real time, you can also not just only watch and comment on Facebook, but send us a WhatsApp message 0809 030 6416. Should digital money lenders be made to have physical offices? That's the question. Should they have a physical office that you can walk into at any time? Would that help a lot? My guest would also answer this. But first, let's start with how the law, the Dion regulation, how it also seeks to protect the interest of these companies, because we have some consumers who have ill intentions. Mr. Chukwuma.
Yes. Okay. Like I was trying to say before, and like you said, there are some of our consumers, some of us, that their intention is just to take the money. Because I've encountered somebody who said, "Is it not free money?" So I want to let every Nigerian know that these money that are being given them are borrowed, at a certain interest by all these companies. They don't print money, they don't mint money. Even if it's their personal money, they're in business. They want to get the money back and make a little money out of it. So Nigerians shouldn't have the mindset that it's a free money, we can borrow it and they will not go. So we are also going to be holding consumers accountable where they fail to pay their loans. As far as there's agreement on how the loan should be paid, and you refuse to comply with your agreement with them, then they will need to collect their money back. So don't ever think that they will not collect their money. They will have to collect their money. But the only thing is, if you are on the right path, if you are abiding by your agreement with them on interest rate and on how to pay the money, and then they harass you unethically, please report to us. But if you know that you have failed to pay your loan and you are being recalcitrant, or you don't have, if there is anything that is done to you, you don't have to come to us. There's no need, because the law do not protect an offender on a particular business. This is business. We went into a business, and you are saying that I should come and protect you when you are the one that is offended. It's absolutely wrong. So then we are saying that if in any way you are wrongly, something is done wrongly, or you are given a loan you did not request for, or you say that the interest is overbearing, or you say that you have complied and they are still harassing you or something like that, please report to Lenders Task Force at fccpc.gov.ng. You can also write directly to my zone, south at fccpc.gov.ng. We will handle it. We'll ensure that. Or you can also write to our general platform on FCCPC, complaints at fccpc.gov.ng. If you open it, or you just go to FCCPC platform, write complaints, they will open a platform, and then you lay your complaint there. There are mechanisms for Nigeria to handle, for us to handle.
So all of these things you're saying, sir, yes. There's one thing I'd like to say. Why haven't we heard the FCCPC do some sensitization, maybe even run radio jingles, have announcements, because you are calling these things now. After today, it's gone. There are many people who might not get the opportunity to hear it again, or did not even get it now, or and many expect that the FCCPC would invest more in trying to, especially when you have special messages like this one, for the period or the duration of this activity, ensure that you have this message out there for people to hear constantly. But we seem not to hear too much of that done by the FCCPC in this regard.
No, I don't think so. Okay, let me just give you an example.
Okay.
Only this week, my director press or information was at your station to talk on it this week. That was Monday. On Wednesday, which was yesterday, a team of my staff was at Radio River for a 1-hour program. And this morning I'm with you. And we have two radio stations on, at least we have 2 radio stations that we have programs on. I don't want to start mentioning them. In River State.
But clearly not with us. So the only thing I would say is, if you have a program and you're trying to reach Rivers people and you don't have that program here or any of our sister stations, I'm talking Wazobia, then I mean, I don't know how far you really want to go with the idea, with the business.
Where with the radio stations and things. But, however, I want to let you know that we are doing the best we can to give people, to sensitize people. We also go to schools. In fact, that same Wednesday, that was yesterday, a team went to 2 different secondary schools to sensitize them on the general things that we do, and then also this money digital lending. The issue is that it is only when I have realized that Nigerians don't listen to radio. We are much on watching TV films, and then what do you call it now, on our WhatsApp,
I don't think that's entirely true. They listen to radio a lot because we have the numbers. It's our field. We know because we have the numbers. It just depends on how you put the message, which is why I said, if you have this conversation once and you leave, it doesn't take one time for something to stick to the minds. Let me give an example. Some of these companies that do this lending business, do you know how often their ads repeatedly come on most of those social media platforms? In a day, they can have that ad running for more than 10, 20 times. There's no way you are looking at your phone or one app or the other and you see that particular ad coming at different times in the day for a week that you're not tempted to want to borrow. I have also seen some of them, and sometimes they come, the ad, as if the ad is reading your mind. It comes on in a time where you're in a problem or you're in a situation where you need. And you see the ad and you go like, should I even just touch this? Then maybe these people can, But you don't have that kind of intensity. That's what I'm saying. For the FCCPC, yes, what you're doing is good. You go on the conversations once in a while, okay. But when you are not on air talking, you shouldn't, the FCCPC, have something that would be